I've always heard that home is where the heart is, but that's always been kind of complicated for me because my heart just wishes for a home of my own or a place of my own. Growing up has always been it's always been kind of complicated. I've had divorced parents for as long as I can remember, and they've had joint custody over me and my brother. So for a long time in my life, it was weekdays at mom's house, weekends at dad's house, and then eventually it flipped into weekdays at dad's, weekends at mom's. It all kind of just boiled down to whose work schedule would work in taking us to school and things like that. Sometimes spend the weekends at my grandma's house because nobody could watch us over the night. Like parents had to work and stuff. And it's always just been complicated, always been back and forth between places. And eventually, when I got old enough and could make my own decisions and didn't need, you know, babysitting necessarily, I got the choice to go live with my mom for a while. And that was nice. Granted, growing up at my mom's house was a less than ideal neighborhood. We had some interesting neighbors who were not the best people to be around, but eventually she met some guy had a lot more money than we did, and they moved in together in this nice big suburb house, and it was fine. It felt kind of soulless, to be honest, but at least we had a lot of space. We were able to just live. My mom had always talked to me about how badly she just wanted our own house with nobody, just family, just us, just pretty much just me and her because my brother didn't really like spending time at my mom's house. Didn't really like her boyfriend and yada, yada, yada. Uh, but that never really came to be. She stayed with this guy for I don't know how many years, moved into a couple different places, went from this big suburban neighborhood to this whole farm, as we called it, because it was just a bunch of land that he bought, and there was this little house on it, and had all these big plans to build a chicken coop and all kinds of stuff that never happened. And he was also a dirtbag, so that didn't help either. But I'd always just dreamed of this idea that one day me and my mom will have our own house. There won't be anybody's thumb that we're stuck under, like first house that I remember growing up in with my mom was my grandma owned it. She was like our landlord or something. And then from there it was the rich boyfriend. And then when that crumbled because of him being just a bad person, he kicked us out, or more so my mom, but obviously me too, because. But, anyways, he kicked us out, told my mom, find a place to stay. I'll pay for it, whatever, be our landlord or whatever. So we did that. We found a smaller house in a better neighborhood than our original house. And that was fine for a while. And then my oldest brother eventually moved in and passed away, and my mom didn't want to stay there anymore. So she moved in with her new boyfriend. And I had to move back in with my dad in the other house that I grew up in. Originally, growing up, I had a room upstairs right across the hall from him, a nice window next to my desk. My brother lived in the basement. There are two bedrooms down here. And one of them was his, and the other one was also kind of his storage room, workshop, whatever. Because when we were little, I was too scared to sleep in the basement, so I didn't want the basement bedroom that was supposed to be mine. Fast forward, I don't know, 15, 16 years later, something along those lines. My brother's not here anymore. He moved out, moved into his own house, apartment, something. And I took over the basement. I am now the sole liver, I guess, in this basement. My dad still lives here upstairs, but the basement is mine now. It has been for a little bit of time. I don't remember. I don't even know how long I've been here, like 5 years, somewhere around there. It's been a while, but I just have always had this feeling of impermanence. And it's weird because I'm in my childhood home that I grew up in. So to feel impermanent or to feel so, I don't know, disconnected from it, feel like I'm just passing through. It's kind of a strange feeling because it's not really anywhere for me to go, not really in the position to get my own house, get my own place to stay. I would love to. That would be ideal. Like I said, it's always been a dream of mine to just feel like I have a place of my own, to feel like I belong somewhere. But nonetheless, here I am, making do with what I have, living here. And I recently took it upon myself. I guess it wasn't really just me. My girlfriend has been a huge help in this process of cleaning up, rearranging, reorganizing, redoing everything we can because we've been here for a long time and it is not really, as much as it's our space. Wow, will I ever remember how to craft? As much as it's our space, it's never really felt like our space, our space. It's always felt very, I don't know, just kind of like we're living in somebody else's shell. Like if you think of like a hermit crab who just goes from shell to shell, it's kind of how it feels. It's kind of how I felt for a long time, just crawling from shell to shell to shell. None of them are really mine. Just going wherever I'm accepted, wherever I can be. It's not really a good feeling. And like I said, it's kind of weird to feel that way when I'm sitting here in my childhood home in the room that was supposed to be mine way, way, way back when. And yet I still just feel so. I don't think unwelcome is the right word because I'm very welcome. My dad let me move back in with open arms. I almost feel like he had to bite his tongue in saying, like, I told you so. I told you not to move in with your mom. I told you it wouldn't go well. But he didn't. He just welcomed me back in, helped me clean out, clean up, rearrange everything. He's been very supportive, but I don't know. I don't feel at home. I feel this longing for something or somewhere else, somewhere unknown. I think that's the worst part, is that I can't put my finger on it. I can't figure out why I feel this disconnect or why I feel this. Oh, that's stupid of me. This craving, yearning, wishing for a different place, a different space, a change of life. It's helped cleaning up around the house, you know, talking about repainting my bedroom soon, or I guess it's our bedroom, my girlfriend and I, but little projects around the house to try to make it feel a little more like our own space, like our own place, but I just I just don't have that homey feeling. I don't have that. I don't know what it is that I'm missing. Maybe I will never know what it is that I'm missing because I've kind of always felt this disconnect everywhere that I've stayed. I've always just felt like this isn't my place. This isn't, you know, I'm not supposed to be here for some reason or other. And With my mom, it was a little easier because her boyfriend he didn't like flat out dislike me, but you could kind of always tell that he never really cared for me, never really wanted anything to do with me, and his family too, for that matter. Like holidays and stuff, I would be just kind of off in the corner doing my own thing because nobody really wanted me around. So it's kind of easier to just chalk it up to like, I don't feel like I belong here because I'm not accepted here. I'm not welcomed here, whatever, but I have to stay here because my mom lives here and, you know. But now it's different. Now it's kind of strange to not feel at home or welcome or whatever in my own home, you know? This longing or craving or yearning or whatever to be somewhere else, and yet I don't even know where that would be. I don't know where I would go if I could. Not that I can, you know, I'm stuck, to be honest. I'm pretty stuck here. And I don't know, it makes it sound bad. Really not. It's a good house, it's a good place. I have plenty of space for me and my dog. Well, relatively. There are faults and flaws everywhere you go. But it's just, I don't know, annoying almost to just feel so disconnected, feel so, mm, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. Just something, something in me, something aching to go somewhere, to be somewhere, to just escape, run away. Maybe that's why I like video games so much. It's because I have an escape right at my fingertips. I can be wherever I want to be in you know, just in general. I'm losing my words here, but I can't put my finger on it. I just know that it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like home. And again, I don't really have a choice, but it's better, getting better, slowly but surely. Putting the pieces together, fixing it up, cleaning it up, arranging it the way that I would want it to be if it would. Well, not if, the way I do want it to be. Like I said, we're gonna paint my room, paint the room, cleaned out the closet, cleaned out the rest of the basement. We've done all kinds of work. It's been great, but I just don't know. Can't shake this feeling that it's not meant to last, and I suppose that's a good thing, right? My whole goal is to get out and get away and have my own place or whatever. Then obviously it's not meant to last, but the realism in my brain tells me that I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Like I said, I'm pretty much stuck here, you know, and I often wonder if I could have made different choices throughout my life to make a difference in that, you know? Maybe if I would have got a job sooner in high school, spent less time hanging out with friends, more time saving money, or I would have got my license when I was like 16 and just been able to drive, been able to escape if I need to, you know? But that's the past. There's no reason to dwell on it. Just hard not to wonder sometimes if I could have made better choices to uh, solve some of these problems I seem to have. You know, if I could have done something about it before it became a problem. But I suppose we'll never know. That was the past, and this is the now. I'm trying to focus on the now. I'm trying to focus on the moment. I'm trying to live in the moment. I'm trying to live in the day, make the most of the days. That's why I started cleaning up my basement and started doing all these projects around the house because I need change. I don't have the money for change. I don't have the money for therapy or psychiatrist, whatever. I don't have the money to do anything. I definitely don't have the money to buy a house and let alone even an apartment, but that would be a whole new can of worms with my dog and everything. Like it's just there's a lot of complications in this world that I live in this little bubble that I've built for myself, or maybe a prison that I've built for myself. Can't go anywhere, can't do anything, just kind of here, kind of just stuck, figuring it out one day at a time. Surely someday that will change, you know? Maybe I'll get my license, I'll be able to just cruise around town whenever my head feels like a mess, be able to just drive, disappear for a while. Something like that sounds kind of peaceful. But until then, at least I have this, my little world here, my little safe space, I suppose. For now, who knows how long that'll last. Not to be bitter or negative or pessimistic, that's the word I'm looking for. I just have a tendency to drop things and forget about things and get distracted, very easily distracted with my life. I spend too much time up in my head and tend to forget the important stuff, the little stuff, or I don't know. I don't know. Just been thinking today a lot. Thinking a lot. My brother is supposed to be moving back in. I think that's where this idea stemmed from, and I kind of forgot all about it. My brother is supposed to be moving back in here sometime soon. I'm not entirely sure all the details behind it, but from what I do know, he's supposed to be taking over what used to be my old room upstairs across the hall, and then he's going to bring his pets with him because, that's what people do. Nothing wrong with that. But it's going to increase our household quite a lot from two dogs to three, and his giant snake that he apparently has. So, supposedly, depending how things go, I will be roommates to a giant snake for the foreseeable future. And not that I have a problem with reptiles or anything. I mean, not that I have a problem with my brother, even, but that, the whole situation sounds awful. Sounds like a huge mess waiting to happen. It sounds like everything that I've tried to make as my own, tried to take back my life, it feels like it's all kind of crumbling or going to be crumbling. And I think that's just a negative outlook, negative mindset. But things in my life just have this tendency to fall apart. And sadly, I'm usually pretty good at predicting when it's going to happen. Kind of have this natural intuition to know when things are getting bad or are gonna get bad, or, you know, just happen. Have a decent enough intuition. So I'm kind of terrified of what my future holds. And I'm not really sure where to go or what to do. I don't really have any options, but we'll figure it out one day at a time. Hopefully, you can join me on this journey of figuring out my life and figuring out where we go from here. So, I don't know. Thanks for listening, watching, whatever. I love you. Have a good day. Bye.